All right, it's time for a little segment I call Whacknut of the Day, and boy, do I have got a whacknut to share with you guys today. Bishop Mariann Budde, who disgraced herself and her church today in front of the President of the United States. She is our whacknut of the day.
Whacknut of the day.
And I'm calling Bellevue because you're nuts.
All right, so get this. Bishop Mariann Budde, who is a Marxist activist disguised as a member of the clergy, managed to get herself in a position where she's up there on the pulpit berating and lecturing President Donald Trump as he sits there along with Vice President J.D. Vance looking on in astonishment that this woman is up there lecturing them about the LGBTQ and illegal immigrants. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why in the world President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance did not just stand up and walk the hell out of that church. This woman, again, claims to be a bishop. She's an activist with a collar, is really what she is. Look at this chick. She is an absolute Looney Tune. And here she's an Episcopal bishop, and she embarrassed herself. She had an opportunity to give a service in front of the President of the United States, who was just inaugurated yesterday. She had a chance to spread a message of unity, a message of Christianity. No. She took her opportunity to berate and lecture the president right there in that room. Here's a clip of how it went down.
I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
Again, I can't believe why President Trump didn't just get up and walk out of there. I mean, whoever was responsible for allowing this to happen, we just celebrated yesterday the fact that wokeness is dead. DEI is gone. It's a new golden age. We're done with all this stuff. And then day one, we have this activist up there preaching to Donald Trump about transgender children. Number one, Bishop Budde, there's no such thing as a transgender child. And number two, Donald Trump is your president. This woman obviously suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. This goes way back. Now, in 2020, the left-wing lunatics tried to burn her church down, right? The bishop. She oversees this church, this diocese that's in Washington, D.C. They tried to burn the church down, okay? Who was she upset about? Not the people that tried to burn the church down. She was upset about Donald Trump and the picture of him holding the Bible in front of the church. She was more mad about Trump standing in front of the church holding a Bible than she was about the people that tried to burn the thing to the ground. So who did she blame when that all happened? Take a listen.
We are upset about the fire as well, but that is not our primary focus. Our primary focus is the reason behind, the fundamental reasons behind the protests in our country right now. There is a deep desire for the fundamental issues at stake brought to light by the murderous death of George Floyd and the countless others that we've witnessed in this long string of violence against Black and brown people. Again, the gospel of Jesus and the teachings of the scripture are antithetical to the messages that he is communicating and the way he's responding to people in this moment.
Yeah, we're upset about the fire, but that's not our primary focus. Our primary focus is passing along this Marxist ideology to all of our parishioners, all of our congregation, that Donald Trump is the bad man. She preaches about the George Floyd thing. She was obviously a vaccine nut. She was mask after mask. You can find her with that. She loved that. She found comfort in that. But she's one of these people that was, the systematic racism. She played right into that whole George Floyd BS, Black Lives Matter stuff that was obviously all a scam and a sham. Derek Chauvin is the one that needs to be spoken up for. You want to take a stance? That's the stance to take. That guy was wrongly convicted to a man who overdosed on multiple drugs. But Derek Chauvin goes to jail for life in an injustice. You want to talk about injustice? That's the injustice that was done in that case. But no, it's about the pandering. It's about the virtue signal. And that's what this lady is all about, this bishop that they call her. Here we go back. Here she is calling. Here's how you know she has Trump derangement syndrome. Back in the day, she was calling for Donald Trump to be replaced. Take a listen.
This is wrong. And this rising up, this spontaneous uprising of people, mostly half my age or younger, they're the ones we should be listening to.
And they're angry at the president.
They're so angry.
They're angry at the president. So what is your message to President Trump today?
Well, he should. I've given up speaking to President Trump. We need to replace President Trump. We need leadership that will lead us in the ways that this country deserves.
She's so desperately, he should be replaced. How in the world do they let this Looney Tune get up there in front of the president and give this lecture to him? This is a big miss by somebody in the Trump organization here or somebody in the administration that missed out on that one. They should have known this lady is a lunatic and they should have never allowed her up there. But again, these are the people that are more concerned about the J6ers, right? We've seen Trump pardons the J6ers and the left has lost their minds over it. Even though the fact that Trump got a deal done today that's going to bring 100,000 jobs and this whole AI infrastructure that he's investing in over the next 4 years, all the questions that they asked him at the press conference, which went on for quite a while, something that Joe Biden never did, all the questions are about January 6ers. They care so much about the January 6ers who were in prison. Some of these people in there for 4 years for taking a guided tour of the Capitol, and they're pissed that they're getting out of prison. Meanwhile, in 2020, they burned the city of Minneapolis to the ground, Seattle and Portland, and no one cares. And those people were all bailed right out, some of them by Kamala Harris. So the people that actually caused harm and inflicted serious injuries to thousands of police officers, they wisp that away like, oh, that doesn't matter. We don't care about that. It's January 6th. They've spent so much time and effort trying to build January 6th into something that it wasn't. Everybody sees through it. All right? It doesn't hold any water anymore. I'll take a January 6th once a year if it meant I would never have another summer of love in 2020 ever again. By a long shot. But getting back to this Marxist, these are the type of people we need to weed out of our society. They preach this stuff. We need to accept illegal immigrants into our country. They're not all bad people. Why doesn't she go and talk to Lake and Riley's family about this? It's always the people that don't have to pay any consequences for this stuff, right? If it happened to you, it's okay. Like we saw that in Martha's Vineyard. The people in Martha's Vineyard want you to have illegal immigrants in your neighborhood, but they don't want them in theirs. That's the liberal way. We see the same thing coming from Pope Francis, from the Catholic Church. He's scalding President Donald Trump for his immigration policy of throwing people out. Here's a guy that's got walls built around the city. Won't let anybody in. And if you do, you're booted right out. Faster than you are if you're in Martha's Vineyard. 2 places an illegal immigrant won't last. Martha's Vineyard and Vatican City. Boom, they're out of there. But they're going to tell you need to take them. You taxpayers need to pay for their free housing, free health care, free phones. Give them a cash card. You have to. And if they happen to whack one of your family members, that's just part of the price we have to pay. Well, we say no. And we're going to throw these people out of the country. We're shutting down this LGBTQ mental illness that's infiltrated so many facets of our society, and we're sick and tired of it. This is why I can't understand on day one. I'm surprised President Trump didn't get up and walk out of that church. But this Bishop Mariann Budde belongs in Bellevue because she is nuts. And so she makes today's Whacknut of the day.
Whacknut of the day.
And I'm calling Bellevue because you're nuts!
You're listening to the Alec Show. The future is family.